Hi, so first I want to apologize for not making a video in the past 2 weeks. I recently had a breakup with my girlfriend of a year and 8 months, and so in all complete honesty, I thought I was completely fine and everything was okay, but I was very wrong. So I've been dealing with a lot of that on top of some family issues, but I'm back, I promise. And this week we really don't have a topic, so basically I guess I'm just gonna talk about everything. On another note, this is kind of gonna be a rant, I guess is the best way for me to explain it. First I want to apologize because my video is being ridiculous and it's freezing all the time. I don't really know. But I guess my biggest thing, like, I want to stress in any relationship, straight, gay, anything, honestly, do not make one person your everything. And I sound like a hypocrite saying this because I did it, but doing that makes everything so much harder. When you break up, you have to learn how to breathe on your own and live on your own, and it's hard. It's kind of like coping with a death, and it's really hard. Another thing is, don't make permanent choices on your temporary feelings, because today you might be like, wow, I love her so much, like I want to be with her forever. But tomorrow she might decide, wow, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, like, I don't want to do this. And you have all these permanent feelings and all these future plans and, talking about getting married and everything else, and all of that changes. And eventually, like, you'll get over it, but for a while it's hard because you are constantly thinking to yourself, wow, like, my whole life is over. And everybody feels that way after a breakup, like, whether you make those kind of choices or not. But especially, like, commitments such as getting engaged or getting a promise ring to become engaged, like, that's a lot of a promise to make at such a young age. Because for me, my girlfriend had bought me a promise ring, and when we broke up, I was like, well, fuck you, bitch, like, you promised you were going to be with me forever. And it was so hard for me because I felt like such a huge promise had just been broken. Don't make promises on things that you can't change. If you are not 100% sure on your feelings for someone and you have second thoughts, be sure to tell them, like, do not make a promise so big because you're going to hurt somebody in the process. I know from dealing with it. And it sucks. Really fucking bad. The last thing that I really want to, like, stress is don't expect everything to always be perfect, because you're always going to fight. There's always fighting in a relationship. Like, things aren't always going to be perfect. But when someone tells you that they want to marry you, I know, because I do it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, perfect, like, we're going to be together forever. Don't take that to the heart, and don't hold it to somebody. Because nobody, even, like, grown adults, can't make that commitment, because that's such a huge commitment. Honestly. Like, people are getting engaged after 6 months, and 2 years down the road, they're getting divorced. Like, in the gay community, it's a little bit different, considering in a lot of states it isn't legal, so you aren't making that serious commitment. But still, even in a straight relationship, like, people are making that decision way too soon. And I can't stress enough, going through it myself and honestly feeling so overwhelmed by it, don't make that kind of a commitment. As perfect as it sounds, don't promise anyone something like that. You can simply say, like, you're, like, the girl of my dreams, like, I want to marry you someday, but don't promise somebody that. I mean, for someone who promises don't mean very much, it's different. But for me, my whole life, I was told things would happen, and they didn't. So promises are the one thing I hold to. Like, you break a promise, and you won't have my trust again. Like, promises are huge. And I don't even know how much I can stress, like, not to make a promise on something like that. Like, do not make a permanent choice on your temporary feelings, because tomorrow you might wake up and realize that you don't want to be with that person. And you might hurt them in the process by making such a humongous promise to them. And that's really all. I mean, that was kind of a relationship rant, but I'm back, and I promise I'll be making my videos. So, ta-ta!